Hey, what's up, brother?
Yo,
Nobody there.
sup with y'all boys and girls, man. Hey, it's Jay Briggs here with the Pick Dogs Morning Show. We're here on NFL Sunday, man. I'm feeling kind of weird. There's no NBA today. No, not a single NBA game. That's weird. But hey, it's a great day of sports, man. Everybody's on pins and needles on the edge of their seat, waiting for the college football committee to come out and announce what they're gonna do, man. It was a great day of sports yesterday, and I'm glad to be on the best place in the world talking football, talking sports with all my guys right here. Mitch,
What's happening?
Hey, what's happening? How you doing today?
All right, man. I'm just looking at the roster of who is on the selection committee. So that's what I'm going by.
We're going at it behind the scenes, man. It's gonna be crazy here in a couple hours. See who's getting in.
Can you bet on that?
You probably can. I think you can, honestly.
Chris
Brian
Alt,
B.
he was the coach of Nevada forever, so he's not going to matter.
How you doing today, my man?
Oh, great to be with you, Jay. Off a winning day yesterday. Glad to see Texas come in and whoop up early. Definitely made the rest of the day go easier.
Same. I was right there. My play of the day yesterday was them Hook'em boys in the college football land. Mr. Pathy, Mr. Dom Club.
Rocking and rolling. We had one little college basketball play yesterday. Youngstown State currently 13-2 the last 15. And I got people asking about Jay's All Access, and I said he's going to go 100% today in the NBA. He cannot lose. Sweeping the board.
You're right. I cannot lose in the NBA today, man. I cannot lose.
I had a guy text me this morning. He was all excited after you hit your 5-unit play last night. He said, "What time are his games coming out?" I said, "You're going to have to wait a while."
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Just 2 games tomorrow in the NBA, but we'll be back. It's the NFL today, and my eyes on that college committee, man, and see if they're going to commit a travesty. They're going to have to commit one way or another. Jovan, what's up, my man?
What's going on with you, Jay?
Nothing much. You know how I'm feeling, man. I'm on the edge of my seat, man. My boys got to get in, man. They deserve it. We'll see.
Between no NBA today and no Ravens, you got Costi over here in the background crying.
And no Cowboys, man.
No Cowboys, no Ravens, no NBA. You guys are boxed out today.
And they trying to box out my Longhorns, man. What is going on? Anything jump off the page to you yesterday, Jovan, in college football?
Jay, the chair of the committee, NC State. is the chair of the committee. Good luck with that one. Good luck. The chair of the committee, NC State. Other guys, Kentucky is one of the no chance.
I mean, not really. Everything went according to what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, personally, I went 5-1 in college football. So yeah, all the games that I was on hit as far as the side. So I expected all Michigan, Michigan. What was the other ones? I'm drawing a blank. Texas. I had a fear that Texas was gonna run roughshod, even though I did have
Toledo.
Even though I did want Oklahoma State to win that one. But
Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State. I had that one. Had the 3:30, 4 o'clock at Alabama. Had that one. SMU. Games like that. So it went according to what I thought was gonna happen.
That's what's up.
So no real surprises. You needed us upset for with FSU, but that didn't happen. They did what they had to do on the defensive end to win that game.
They did, and I will say they are deserving to be in. They are most definitely. They couldn't have done anything better. They are, by the resume, deserving to be in.
Who?
Florida
FSU.
State.
Florida State. FSU.
Florida State.
They have at least they have representation on the committee.
I say that.
See, Texas has none. Texas has none.
But I can ask every last one of you guys, right? I don't even got to do it. Florida State is not the 4 best teams I test right now without Jordan Travis. It's just not the case. It's not the case.
It depends on what eye test you're looking at. They beat everybody that was in front of them. They beat 2 SEC teams. They beat LSU at the beginning of the season when they were around the same time when Texas beat Alabama. And LSU came into the season highly ranked. A lot of people had them picked to win the national championship this year. Florida State came back in the second half and just stomped them. And then they also beat Florida at Florida with their second string quarterback. So they beat 2 SEC teams. They also beat Clemson at Clemson, not an easy building to win at ever. And they have a much better resume than most of these teams out there as far as quality wins. They also have the head of the selection committee is also an ACC guy. And then the only representation from the Big 12 on the committee is a guy from Kansas State. They're pissed you guys are leaving, man. You got no chance. You got no chance.
We're getting
no
in,
chance.
We'll see here in a couple hours. Romanelli, Ron the Don.
Yeah, we always hear the committee say, "Oh, it's about the 4 best teams and the eye test and all that stuff." But listen, if Georgia's not in the top 4, which it doesn't look like they're going to be, I mean, their odds right now to make it plus 1,000, so that'd be about a 10% chance. I think if Georgia played Washington or even Michigan in the first round of that playoff, they would be favored. I think against Washington by double digits and maybe by a touchdown or a little bit less against Michigan. So, that just tells you this isn't the top 4 teams in the country that are going to be in the playoff. It never is. And, that's just the way it goes. But, I was watching a lot of college hoops yesterday, a couple of top 10 upset losses, Wisconsin over Marquette and Georgia Tech over Duke. So it's getting interesting in college hoops. There's no team, I think, that right now is running away like UConn did last year in just terms of dominance. So pretty interesting stuff.
Pretty interesting stuff, nonetheless.
I got a quick question. 2 years ago, when Georgia lost to Bama in the SEC championship, what happened?
Oh yeah, bounce back and beat them.
No, but they didn't get kicked out of out of the top 4. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What's going to change now? The committee has never made that move.
But I just think it was less competition in terms of the 5, 6, and 7 seeds.
I think Ohio State.
I think Georgia deserves to be in there, but I don't think.
I think actually Ohio State was
the biggest criteria that they take into account is conference championship, though, and Georgia does not have that.
They don't take any of that into account, man.
They did. TCU wouldn't have made it last year.
So this guy works for NC State. What's going to make NC State the most
7? There was no argument for them over TCU. There was none. This year, there's a legitimate argument. So
I don't know. We've never seen the committee,
make any sense whatsoever.
A 7th ranked and an 8th ranked team, to number 4.
Who's the best 1-loss team? Who's the best 1-loss team out of all those 1-loss teams? Georgia. Right?
The thing is, I'm with Romanelli. I think Georgia would be favored over everybody in a neutral field game. I think they would be. I think they would be favored over every one of the last team.
What if they play Bama again? What would that line be?
Favored. They would be favored.
Be 1.5.
I think it would be 3.
I think it would be 3.
Yeah. Same.
Then it'd be 10, and it'd be like, what the hell's going on? Like Oregon, Washington. But there was only one undefeated serious team last year. There was only one serious 1-loss team last year. The Georgia was undefeated. Michigan had the 1 loss, and everybody else had 2 losses. This year, you've got a bunch of 1-lossers and undefeated. So it's more competitive than.
What I don't understand the most is why Michigan at undefeated and Washington as undefeated are seen as a better undefeated team than Florida State because they have a quarterback. When they went to the playoff, they got shellacked. They got
Travis Mitchell, they would be my number 1 seed. That's how I feel.
Why? Based on what?
No, Florida State. What? Because of the resume. I'm agreeing with you.
But why would Michigan or Washington be over Florida State when neither of those teams have ever done anything in the modern era? Neither of those teams have done anything in the modern era. Washington has a half a championship in 1991. And Michigan has half a championship because they ducked Nebraska, who would have wiped their ass. They won 3 out of 4 national championships, that team that Michigan refused to play, man. And it's like, that's all they've won. They've been gifted everything. They've always been elevated to this. They had 16 yards rushing in the first half of the game last night, and all everyone did was bitch about Florida State's offense. Michigan had 16 yards, man. It's like outside of a punt return and a call that they gifted them a touchdown on an incomplete pass and called it a fumble and a recovery. I mean, which was absurd by the most absurd of absurd calls. I mean, That was all the Michigan offense they were able to muster last night. Yeah, they held Iowa to nothing. So, I mean, you can't win scoring 0. It's freaking Iowa, man. It's not, it's not Georgia. It's not, it's not Alabama.
Going to Tuscaloosa and beating Bama by 10, right? It just don't hit the same, right?
It's early. Winning early and winning late are two different things.
So basically, Texas should just schedule Portland State like Oregon does. Cool.
That's why Florida does that. Why do you think Florida does that? Why do you think Michigan does that? Why do you think Michigan schedules New Mexico, Hawaii, Colorado State? I mean, look at their out-of-conference schedule. That's why they schedule that. Because when they schedule out-of-conference and they used to play Miami, we whipped their ass. Their coach had a heart attack on the sideline. We beat him so bad. He had a heart attack. Bo Schembechler, the legend. It was an ungodly set of circumstances. Yeah, we kicked your ass, man. That's what happened. It's like they don't do that anymore. They've done it twice in like the last 35 years. One was against us, beat their ass. The other one was Alabama with shoelace when they had shoelace. It was even worse. Bama beat them by like 60 in the opener.
Fair enough.
It's like it is absurd that Michigan is given this treatment up here when they had a quarterback that won more Super Bowls than all the other quarterbacks combined. Even he couldn't get him home. I mean, it's like that's how freaking pathetic this program is. You have a quarterback that in the NFL was able to take the shit-ass New England Patriots with no wide receivers to the Super Bowl 1 million times, man. He couldn't even get Michigan home, man. Couldn't even get him home. You guys are talking about how important the quarterback is, how the quarterback position is everything in the selection that Florida State's down there. You had the best quarterback there's ever been, man. He couldn't get you home. This fucking bum's going to get you home. This guy's going to get you home? No chance.
Probably going to be the
no chance.
I get it.
Didn't they share the national championship that year that Brady was split with Todd Helton or Helton, whatever his name was?
With Drew, he split with Drew, the guy who played for the Yankees.
Yeah. I don't know, Helton, whatever his name is.
Drew Henson.
Drew Henson. I'm saying Todd Helton from Colorado.
Yeah, but look at the team that they split with, Jovan. Look at the team they split with.
Yeah, hey, I understand, but hey.
Tommy Frazier's Nebraska team that won 3 national championships in 4 years beat Florida 59-14 in the Fiesta. It's like they wouldn't have stood a freaking chance, man. They had no chance.
Hot Rod, man, how you doing today?
Doing good.
They played a 5-6 Oregon team in the Rose. Congratulations, man.
I hope they put Florida State up at number 1. Nobody wants to play the number 4 seed. This is what's going
to make it even more insane. This is going to make it even more insane. I'm sorry. The biggest Florida State fan right now today is the Michigan fan, and it's sad. It's sickening. It's sickening that that's what they're cheering for. Because Michigan's getting the number 1 seed, and they're praying to God that Florida State is the 4th.
They'll lose to them. Florida State's stacked, man. They'll beat Michigan.
But we're not going to have to worry about it because the committee.
Florida State will run circles around Michigan.
Michigan,
it will run circles around
Texas, Alabama. Committee, do the right thing.
The team speed disparity between Michigan and Florida State will run circles around them. Circles. Yes. Florida State is a track team. Did you see the defense? It will run circles around them.
Yeah, and put up 3 points and a half. That happened.
It's all it's going to take.
Louisville.
Hey, unless Michigan's gifted points, they can't score. I mean, it's pretty clear yesterday. 3 blocks in the back on the punt return, none of them called, and then a gifted fumble, which it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah. Well, the committee, man, they 11 o'clock or 12 noon. We'll find out here soon. It is NFL Sunday, though. There is some money to be made today. We can argue about college football all day long. I know we could.
And we will. Behind the scenes, I have my.
Most definitely, we will. There's no NBA today, so, we can spend a little longer talking about some of the NFL games and argue a little more college football as we go on. But let's start it off, man. First game up, we're going to head to New England. Speaking of the Patriots, we got them boys, 5.5 points dog at home. to me, this game is interesting. They weren't they 4-point favorites on the road last week? Now they're 5.5-point dogs this week at home. Sheesh. I'm not overly in love with this game, but it's Chargers or nothing for me here. The Patriots are just going to continue to be a straight fade. I think trying to bet the Patriots are catching a falling knife. I understand it. Now, if you're going to give me the home dog, Bill Belichick argument, fair. But based on the team that has actually put my eyes on, the team that's on the field, this team is straight ass. And the Chargers are definitely the better team. And I see Herb probably having one of his best games of the year and probably winning this game comfortably. I would lay it with Los Angeles in this one. Mitch?
Oh, I did a lot of shows with Brian Bitler over the years, and the best thing he said in all those years of doing shows with him happened on Halloween night on 2021 when we talking about the candy that we were giving out, for Halloween. Brian, what are you giving out? And he said, I'm gotta go with the Chargers here.
Could have been the Jets. Might have been the Chargers.
Tell your father to put a little something on the Chargers.
Something on the Chargers. What?
It's like,
We're giving out full chocolate bars. Let's give it out.
I'm like, yeah, we're giving out full-size Snickers and M&Ms. Like, Brian, what are you giving out? I gotta go with the Chargers. I'm gonna go with the Chargers in this one. And any chance that I go against all the Zappy is a guy that couldn't beat out Mac Jones. Man, this is gonna be bad. I know that the Chargers have packed it in. Boza out for this, for the season. They still got plenty in there. I'd say the Chargers' top 30 players are better than the Patriots' best player. I'm gonna go with the Chargers here.
Brian B.
Well, we got probably the worst coach that's left coaching in the NFL against a Hall of Fame coach here. You got the worst pass defense in the NFL in the San Diego Chargers. So for me, I'm going to take a lean to the over 38.5. I think Zappy's a small upgrade at quarterback. I think they'll get enough points to get over the total.
I can see a sneaky over. I can see it. Jovan, what you got for me?
I'm gonna second what Brian said. I like the over in this one. I do think that both teams can move the ball against each other. The fact of the matter is the Chargers have the worst pass defense out there, and the Chargers can move the ball against the Patriots defense, even though their defense has been pretty stout for the whole season. Just that their offense has been terrible. I think in this one, 38 might be a little bit too low. It should be 41, 40, 42, 43, somewhere around there. So I'll take the over in this one.
Sneaky over for Jovan as well. Ron the Don.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers here. I just think, even though I do think the Patriots offense wakes up a bit against a pretty weak defense, the Chargers should be able to score well in this game. They do still have one of the better offenses in the league. And while it wasn't a great week against the Ravens, I mean, that's just a top 2, top 3 defense in the league, if not the best defense. So I think the Los Angeles bounces back offensively. We see a higher scoring game. I think the Chargers win it and cover the number.
Take the Chargers.
Tell your dad to put a little something on the Chargers.
All right.
Definitely put a little something on the Chargers in this one. Fade New England. Either quarterback. Tough getting an over. It's like I see where the angle is getting to the over, but both these offenses they're not been lighting it up. New England hasn't scored more than 20 points in how long? Oof. And you'll need them to do that to get that over. I'm going to take the under 39.5. I think this is a 17-14 snooze fest game all day. Give me the under.
Any thoughts here, Mr. Dime Club?
So I was looking at this screen because I look at that. I have the opening number. The opening number was 6-41, like the real opening number. So obviously the early money came in and banged them down. Patriots and the under. I do know a couple cappers that are on.
Is that the Westgate Open, Eric?
It's the Westgate opener / one of Micah's books that we used on this screen that I'm not going to reveal, that gives you what I call the sharpest number ever. But this is like last week. So I like to see which way the money falls. everybody's betting the under, wise guy wise, and the dog. But again, you could have had 41 last week. Now you got 39. So, again, by accident, a game could go over. As you guys know, it's like he said, they haven't scored 20 points. I would lean to the under, but
all year.
What's that?
I said the wise guys been getting their ass kicked on the Patriots all year.
All year long, man.
Listen, I'm going to tell you,
ugly beatdown.
Getting their ass kicked.
You can add Carolina and the Skins. I mean the Commanders to that.
Oh, absolutely. Those teams have been the death march of the Sharks.
I just wake up and know they're going to bet those 3 games.
Yeah. It's their Browns a couple years ago and the Jets 2 years ago. It's like, oh man.
Don't remind me about the Browns. I still have nightmares about that. Oh,
that was
next game up. God. We got the Arizona Cardinals out on the road facing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers 7-4 against a 2-10 team. Laying a pretty decent number for the Steelers team. Laying 6.5. I'll start at the back. Zawacki, what you got for me?
This one, I like the over in this one. You look at the Steelers last week; their offense racked up over 400 yards and looking real good. They were 1-4 in the red zone though, so they clean that up a little bit. Throw some of those in there. We know the Cardinals can score some points, so I think both teams easily get into the 20s in this one. And we get ourselves a nice over 41.5. And we get close to 50. I think we see lots of points here in Pittsburgh today.
Romanelli.
Yeah, I'll agree. The Steelers quietly in the last 4 weeks have put together one of the best run games in the NFL. I mean, this is one of the worst run teams at the beginning of the season, but 5.5 yards a carry, 5.7, 6.6, 4.6 last week. They should be able to run on a banged up and bad Arizona run defense. It's given up a ton of – last week against the Rams, 7 yards a carry and over 200 yards. Steelers should be able to score at will, but I think Arizona chips in a few touchdowns themselves. I'm still not a big believer on the Steelers defense. While it's been better as of late, you look at the last 2 quarterbacks it's played, Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Jake Browning. It's definitely going to be a lot tougher here against Kyler. So give me the over.
Joe Vaughn.
Yeah, I like this game early in the week, not so much now. It's really falling down my rankings as far as like what I was gonna bet. But tentatively on the Cardinals in this one, the thing about it is, and I'm doing this just based off of Tomlin as a favorite over 3 points. But the more you look at it, this Pittsburgh team, they've been coming on, especially on the defensive end, run defenses especially. And, that's the Cardinals' strong suit, running the ball. So, I don't want to get in the way of Pittsburgh at this point in time. So, slight lean to the Cardinals.
Brian B.
Yeah, I agree with some of the earlier guys here. I really I strongly like the over here at 41.5. People talk a lot about the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, but it doesn't really impress me too much. And the Arizona Cardinals rush defense, I believe, is 30th in the NFL. So I think both teams will be able to move the ball, score the ball. I think it gets close to 50.
Money man Mitch.
Got to go with the Steelers in this one. The thing is that I have 2 Circa entries. One is by myself, and one is with Jay, and they're actually running very, very close, both like right there this year for the Circa. I'm gonna double cash Circa this year, which is gonna be unbelievable. But we're split on this game. I like the Steelers. It's rare that we've been split. Like we've had different games, in our picks and stuff all season long, but it's rare that we've been absolutely split. And this is the game. I just think, man, it's that time of the year. The Steelers have been out of the playoffs for a while. The NFL loves the frickin' Steelers. And instant replay was invented in Pittsburgh, man. It was from the bad calls in Pittsburgh. And it's like they're going to do whatever they can. I mean, we saw a game where they wanted Michigan so bad last night. They didn't want to leave anything to chance. It's going to be the same thing type here with the Steelers, man. They're not going to leave anything to chance, man. And it's like they don't in Pittsburgh because that's where replay was invented, man, from the bad calls. In Pittsburgh, that's how instant replay started in the NFL. That's why it's there. And we all know now, the way that they get around it, the worst calls aren't reviewable. And we're going to see a call or 2 in this game, and the Cardinals are going to feel dejected. We're never going to say, screw you. You're just the Cardinals, man. That's the attitude they're going to take.
You know,
Doesn't matter. You're just the
there's validity
Cardinals,
to
man.
what
Just
you're
like
saying.
Are you being
Oh,
a conspiracy theorist, Mitch?
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just believe that money rules the day.
So
These guys
as
are
Mitch
greedy,
alluded to-
greedy people, man. You ever park your car at an NFL stadium?
I have.
Yeah. What'd it run you? What's that
Too
going to
much.
run you? Yeah. $50 to park your car at a game.
Yeah.
Jovan, what are they charging outside of Fenway Park these days? 75, 80 bucks?
So I have no idea because I haven't been to a Red Sox game in over 20 years. But, yeah, but I know it's a lot because the regular parking, not on game day, is astronomical. So
Chauncey, what's the parking at the Ravens Stadium?
it's crazy.
Yeah,
And then you have all the little gas stations and parking lot that open up all of a sudden at Fenway Park in and around the area. So yeah, it gets crazy.
Yeah.
The parking is
Stack your car in here. Pinion. That's the word.
No block.
Give me $50.
At the Orange Bowl, it used to be no blocky, no block, no block.
No blocky, no blocky.
No block.
We
No
don't
block.
care. You get blocked in. Get in there.
No block. No
Get
block.
you in there.
$20, no block. It's like you said it was no block, man. It's like now I'm gonna be too drunk to drive home, sitting here waiting for this guy, man. It's like, get all pulled over and shit.
Oh.
I'm taking the Cardinals in this game, fellas. I am. And I would lean towards the over. This is how I see this game playing out. I see it 24-20. 24-20, Steelers win. It's a Cardinals cover. The Steelers, they're not no late 6.5 point type team. They're not.
Then why are they?
Over half of their games they've played, they've been out-yarded. They have.
Well, why
Steelers
are
as
they
a dog,
why-
sign me up.
why are they
Steelers as a
6.5
small
favorite?
favorite, sign me up. Steelers laying 6.5. I think it's record. I think the record is what's driving this line. And we know the Cardinals are not nearly as bad as their record. ATS, they're 6-6 straight up. They've competed in damn near every game they've played.
Same record at ATS, 6-6.
Huh?
Their same record, 6-6 at ATS, 6-6 straight up.
No. Pittsburgh is better.
No, I'm talking about Arizona.
Yeah. So
Right.
that's what I'm saying. So they're 6-6. They compete in every game they play in. And going up against a team who offensively leaves a lot to be desired, I understand the run game's getting better. I understand they fired Matt Canada. I understand that their morale is at an all-time high. But Kenny Pickett's still their damn quarterback, and I don't trust him. And he's probably going to throw a late pick in this game, and they're going to win 24-20. Still a solid win, but I'm not laying 6.5 with the Steelers. Can't do it. Won't do it. Me, Arizona. I think they continue to fight. And that's a lean towards the over with the guys. I think the Cardinals and Kyler Murray do enough to put some points on the board.
Hey, give me a call.
Should be a good game. But as I always say, I bet the Cardinals every game this year. So let me put that in there as well. Even with Dobbs, I was on the Cardinals.
So you're down juice at 6-6.
Yep. Actually, I'm down. I'm not 6-6. I'm 5-6 because I bet against them against the Cowboys. So I'm actually down. All right. We got the Colts and the Titans. It's going to be a good game today, man. I cannot wait to watch this one. I'm on the Titans, home dog. Mitch opened my eyes last week, man. It is true. The Titans, they didn't play a lot of games at home. And when they do play at home, they go crazy, low-key. And I just see this as a game where Derrick Henry gets downhill, throws a couple guys to the side, and the Titans win an ugly one in Tennessee. Their season's not over at 4-7. They were front-end road-loaded. And at home, I just think this is the Tennessee-style football. Home dog, Mike Vrabel. Y'all know the numbers. I ain't even got to spew them. Taking the Titans here. Gardner Minshew and the Colts, they've been solid all season. But to expect, can they come in here and win this game against Tennessee? Yes. But to expect them to do so, I cannot. I'm taking the Titans. Mitch?
Well, as you said, man, the Titans haven't lost at home all season, and they haven't not covered at home all season. And I think one of the worst beatdowns, surprise beatdowns that I've seen all season was that Titans win over the Bengals with Joe Burrow in there. They beat the crap out of them. And without Jonathan Taylor in the lineup for the Colts, I just don't think this team is the same, man. We saw them without Jonathan Taylor before. He came in, added that spark. Now he's back out again. And I think that that's a big, big problem because he's their best player. So it's when your best offensive player, when you have a backup quarterback and your best offensive player is out, definitely presents some problems. Colts also banged up along the offensive line coming into this game. Not a good sign. DeForest Buckner banged up coming into this one too. Not a good sign with Derrick Henry coming through there, 300 pounds running a 4.140 or whatever the hell he is. I do not like this matchup for a sloppy Colts team, and that has just they've slopped away three wins. You know, the games that they won the game and lost because they slopped it away. So I got to go with the Titans. Just everything seems to point to a very, very easy win in this one.
Brian B.
Yeah, I'm going to lean to the over 42.5 here. I don't have my guy Taylor playing for my fantasy football team, but Zach Moss, you know, he did a good job early on filling in. He's still averaging 4.7 yards, 7 yards a carry. Colts defense, not what it used to be. I think both teams are going to be able to put some points on the board today, so I'll take the over.
Jovan.
Yeah, classic AFC South game. You know, I think these teams keep it low as far as scoring. Surprisingly, the Tennessee Titans defense has been stout. And I was surprised to look at some of their numbers, especially, last 5 games. So, the Colts, they can't get they can't get pushed around on the defensive end. They have some injuries that are not conducive for them winning. But at the end of the day, I think that this is going to be one of those games that are in the teens. So give me the under.
Romanelli.
Got to go with the Titans at home. The home team hasn't fared too well in this series against the number in recent years. But, Titans, this team just doesn't lose at home. They have great home field advantage. Their defense is sharpening up, like Jovan said. They're playing with revenge after losing to the Colts earlier in the year. And I got to go with Tennessee in this spot. Reasonable number. So give me Tennessee.
High right.
Yeah, I like the under in this one, 42.5. We've seen 40 in the first meeting in the season. And I think you get a similar type game, even with Taylor out. The Colts will still be able to run the ball. Tennessee's going to run the ball, which was just going to do. I think this is 2017, the final in this one, which gets us under the 42.5.
There you go. All right, under. Should be a decent game.
Should be a good one.
Any thoughts here, Eric?
Yeah, so first of all, they're 5-6 straight up ATS. I know they've covered every game at home. I wouldn't call them a dog at +1. I call it, in my mind, that's pick 'em. So, I wouldn't
even
say
at home, because isn't the home team getting 3 points to start with? So it's like, right?
I mean,
in the grand scheme of things. So basically, they're really a 4-point dog. And
you can make that argument. I'm saying,
okay, well, that's what I do. In case you haven't noticed, I.
Well, what's interesting is the opening number a week ago. That outlaw number was 1.5, and it's only come down 0.5 point. So from a pro betting level, the line really hasn't moved much. If I had to play the game, I would go over the total.
I've seen halves out there this morning on this game.
I'm looking at the screen. There's some halves somewhere. But yeah, I would go with the over if I had to play that game.
Next
I
game,
bet a half, like 0.5 point. I would. It's like I see a half.
This is like
point
soccer. You bet
minus,
the Asian handicap, so you don't have the
yeah,
draw.
I know. So if it's a draw, but it's like you're betting a half. You're paying like 8 cents for the 0.5 point.
Exactly.
You're paying 8 cents for a tie, but if you bet the tie, it's like plus 800, man. It's like you're way better off if you think it's going to be, instead of taking the half, you bet the tie, and then you bet the tie, it pays like 20 times higher odds, and then if you getting even money as opposed to paying it's like you're ahead of the book then, right? So it's like this is the betting public. This is the people. This is what the betting public. They don't even. It's like. It's like
they'll just.
This is why Vegas makes so much money, man. This is exactly why. It's like, and it's right in front of your face on this one. I mean, they're blatant. Just blatant, man.
Matt, you remember, Rod, when they used to have the ties in the hockey, but before they changed the rule, that was brutal. That was brutal.
That was brutal. Brutal.
Every game.
Every game. Every game it was like tie. So now
next game up, man. We got the Denver Broncos facing the Houston Texans. Texans laying 3 at the crib. Broncos are the hottest team in the NFL. Let's call a spade. They are. And would we have thought that earlier this year, the way Russ and Sean Payton and this team was operating? I don't know. But the Texans, we love the culture change that DeMeco Ryans and this team has had. I'm super excited to watch this game today. I'll go last. I'll start with Mitch though this time. What you think?
I like the way the Texans are playing. The Broncos, they've been the new kings of getting the calls. I think they're playing well, but I think when you're getting that many calls, I think it dwarfs it. I'd love to see what the Broncos penalty numbers are the last 5 or 6 games compared to their opponents, because my guess is it's not even close. And on declined penalties and all that stuff, include that, it's probably even worse. It's tough when you have a team that doesn't play well, that just continues to win games for no other reason but they're a popular team, and that that people like their coach or whatever the case may be. It cheapens the game, and this is part of the reason why I'm not as big an NFL fan as a lot of the people are out there, because of what we've seen with the Denver Broncos this season. I think the Texans have a chance here. I think, unfortunately, I don't think D'Amico Ryans is going to be lucky enough. I think this game's probably going to be an under. I'll go under. I can't take the Broncos, but I'll just take the under instead.
Brian B.
Yeah, it might be a sucker play, but I'll take the Denver Broncos plus the points. I know they won 5 straight, and I hate to be a bandwagon guy, but if you look on paper, Texans are better in offense, defense, really.
Not penalties against. More than likely, not penalties against, and that's the difference maker for the Broncos this season. Every one of those games has been a massive penalty disparity. It's like the Eagles at home don't even touch the other team, and the same thing. The Broncos, man. Very hard to take the other team because they are getting every single call. Every Eagles game at home, massive penalty imbalance. Broncos, same thing, man. Every single game over this streak, massive penalty imbalance. It's like you can't overcome that. It's like turning the ball over 4 times, man, when they keep calling back your big plays. You can't overcome that. There's 3 plays that decide a game. Jenny, 3 to 4 plays that will decide the entire game. When those plays are called back, it's like the equivalent of a turnover. It's like it's horrid, man, and that's what makes it a cringe. As I've learned my new word that I learned every year, I learn a few new words. Cringe is one of my. It's one of my new ones. Man, that's just cringe. I know that I always had, of course, knew what cringe was, but I never heard cringe on its own the way it's used today. That's cringe, like Mitch is cringe, they say, stuff like that. I've read.
So what you rolling with here, Brian?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Texans play a lot of close games, and I just have a feeling this one's going to fall inside the number 3, so I'll lean towards the Denver Broncos plus points.
Eric, anything here?
Yeah, so I was looking at this game. I mean, I'm the contrarian in this situation, so I would definitely be taking Houston at home. Because I know the whole world, basically, they're a public dog. So Denver's a public dog because the run that they're on. And what I would like is I would love to get 3.5, but obviously you can wait till post and see if the line actually moves up. That's actually what happened in the Michigan game last night. Iowa was the public dog. So you always want to fade the public dog.
No, they were not.
They were the public dog money.
No, they weren't. Yeah. No, they weren't. And there's no way you can convince me of that. No, they weren't.
Okay. I'm just telling you from the guys that I run with.
No, they weren't.
That was late. That was pain. But I'm just saying that's the same situation here. So I would just fade them in that instance because again, like
there is no way on God's green earth that more money was on Iowa yesterday than Michigan, and nobody will ever be able.
Public money, 100%. 100. All fair. I'll text you later on the group chat. I'll show you.
You have to show me. I don't believe that.
I'll show you. But it's the same situation here.
But in this one, I do understand why people are on the Broncos here. Now, this one I understand. This one is
and really, honestly, against the spread, they're garbage. They're 4-6-1. So they're not setting the world on fire from a betting point of view. And again, we're betting the spread unless we're doing the money line. So Houston's not doing any better either. They're 5-6. But I would have to take Houston.
I feel you. Javon, what you think?
Yeah, looking at this total, earlier this week I was on the over, but now I'm on the under. And, Denver, pass defense, they've been real strong in that area, especially lately. Early in the season, they was getting passed on like nobody's business. But I think that they'll give Stroud problems. He won't be able to see things down the field like that and run around and he might be, in line for a couple picks. On the other side, Houston, their run defense has been stout, and that's what Denver really wants to do. They don't want to keep the ball in Russell Wilson's hands like that. So, I think it's a situation where it falls just under the total.
Under for Jovan Romanelli.
Yeah, I think at this point with the total up now at 47, I think there is some value on the under. I'm gonna have to head out after this one, by the way. I actually see some 47.5s out there, but I gotta go. I'm gonna agree with Eric. I think Denver is a public dog in quite a big way. I mean, it makes sense with them on a big win streak, and in this win streak, they've only outgained 2 of their opponents. One of them was by 8 yards against the Packers, and the other one last week against the Browns, they only put up 294 yards, but they only gave up 269. But I'm still not a believer in this Broncos team, especially in the offensive end. And even the defense, I think, is really overrated. And in the secondary, I think the Texans have a big day passing-wise. I think we still get under this total barely. I think it's honestly a one-sided affair, and I think the Texans win this game and cover the number.
There you go. What are you selling today over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I've got my college basketball bank shot best bet. We're starting to heat up with those, cash the last 3, and got 4 plays in the NFL. Play of the day, Barking Dog, Total Crusher, my favorite over-under play, and then my pick against the spread in the Sunday Night Football game.
There you go. Any other free plays you want to give out before you get out of here? Any other games on the board that,
College hoops.
Yeah, nothing really in the NFL. Other than the premium plays, it's not my favorite NFL. But in college hoops, I would say the one play that just missed the premium area would be Appalachian State plus the points. That's an early game. I just think Appalachian, I mean, how many times does a team like that get to host an SEC team like Auburn? I think they're going to be way up for it. And beyond that, I think they're actually a really solid program. So I think that's going to be a close game.
There you go. Appreciate you as always, Ron Romanelli. We'll see you as always throughout the week with the rundown, the bank shot breakdown, and ton of action going on.
Good luck, everybody.
Ron Romanelli. That's my guy right there. All right. Hot Rod, what you thinking here? Broncos, Texans.
And for me in this one, just like Mitch said, you look at these Broncos, 28th in taking stupid penalties. 6.9 penalties a game do these Broncos take. They also love to fumble the ball. 30th in giving up fumbles as well. And Texans 11th at causing those chaotic turnovers and grabbing those fumbles. So I went to look at the book. I was trying to get an extended line on this Texans at 6.5, and my book won't let me. They'll only let me go to -5.5. They won't let me take anything higher right now than that. So I'll take the Texans. I think they win.
How much do you pay in juice for that?
I was trying to go an extended line, and -5.5 is at +125 right now. So you pay an extra couple bucks, get an extra couple points, so you get into the plus money. -5.5. I think they win by a touchdown. So some of them you can get pretty higher. I think normally you can get higher than that. Up to $1.50 sometimes.
Interesting.
Take a little extended line. When you think a team's going to win by more than 7 or 10, this is Mitch's favorite thing to do. Come on. Right?
Absolutely.
He loves taking the extended
I
line.
love extended, man. My thing.
Yeah.
All right, next game up, man. We're going to New Orleans, man, where we got the Saints and the Lions. My graphics messed up in this one. It's the Lions laying 4.5 on New Orleans. Jovan, I'll start with you here. What do you think?
Yeah, I really don't want to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm on the Saints. It's just one of those things where I'm looking at Jared Goff play, and I think Cinderella. I think the pumpkin has saying that the chariot has turned into a pumpkin with him. The last couple games, he's just been forcing the ball over the place, and I just don't like what I'm seeing. There's a lot of injuries on the Saints side, especially defensively with Marcus Lattimore. He's on injury reserve, but with the line the way it is right now, I can see this being a 3-point game. Like I said, the Lions haven't looked well the last couple weeks, and I think it continues this week. So give me the home dog in this one.
Sorry, I'm Rod.
And for me in this one, I like the under in this one. Just as you said, I don't see a whole lot of points. We know the Saints defense can slow teams up, and the Detroit defense definitely want to step it up after their last game. So 46.5 seems like too many points for me. I like the under 46.5.
The last guy?
Brian.
Yeah, I agree with Jovan here. I think the shine's coming off of Detroit Lions a little bit. I mean, the Saints probably the second worst cover team behind the New England Patriots, but it seems like a real easy pick to just take the Lions minus the points here. But I think the Saints pass defense will turn Goff over. I'll take the New Orleans Saints plus the points.
Brian, I love you, but I truly hate when you do that. It really makes me.
It's the first time today I'm allowed to give one crappy pick out.
Man, no, it's not the pick. It's not the pick. It's the analysis that makes me cringe.
Yeah. Well, they 2-6-1 against the spread or 2?
No. You said, what did you say? You said, I feel like the Lions are the easy pick. If you feel that way, rock with it.
No, that's how you get beat. Taking your first.
Sometimes I feel like you got to take your layups, man, and I think this is one of them. I'm not gonna.
I think this card today it might not be a great card, but there's a few spots that could go right today.
I'm with you, and I'm well aware this is probably one of the most public plays on the board today. The Lions laying the 4.5. The thing about that though is, and this is my thoughts on it. I always say this. You guys hear me say this all the time. The public, I hate to tell you guys, they win. They win. They don't lose like 70% of the time like they would want you to believe. The public is 50-50. That's how it goes. These quote-unquote sharps, they lose all the fucking time. All the time. And with that being said, I'm rocking with the public and the Detroit Lions.
But the Sharps, Brian, Jay, the Sharps are not on a team. The Sharps are not on a team.
They're on a number. I understand.
They're on a number.
And I'm talking about the sharp chasers.
It's a big difference.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about the
it's a
sharp
big
chasers.
difference than being on a team.
I'm talking about the sharp chasers is who I'm talking about.
All right.
That's
Well,
basically who I'm talking
right. They've been getting busted up.
They get busted up.
They get busted up.
And I'm not chasing the Saints here. The Saints.
They've been on the Patriots, the Commanders. Man,
they are who they are. They're 2-8-1. They are who they are. The Lions. I know it seems too easy to take them, but I'm going to take them. You know why? Because they're still one of the most profitable teams this season. They're the most profitable team in the last 3 years. If you go back and look, you've made more money betting the Detroit Lions than any other team in the NFL. Any other team. This Saints team is ass. Derek Carr, he's ass. This defense is not nearly as good. I understand taking 4.5 points in New Orleans sounds appeasing, but in my mind, there's a reason they're 4.5-point dogs at home. It's because they're not good. I'm taking the Lions. Bounce back spot. I love taking good teams in bounce back spots. And the Lions have showed me that they are that. I think they bounce back here and beat up on the Saints. That's how I see it. Mitch.
I'm going to roll with the Saints. The Lions just got absolutely handled last time out, and I think they're in regression. And I think that Jared Goff is who he is, and I think we know that. And I think also I've been really questionable about the Lions' pass defense all season long. And this Chris Olave on the Saints, they figured something out in that loss against Atlanta, and that is throw the ball anywhere in this guy's general direction. There's a pretty good chance he's going to catch it. I'm seeing this guy make like Jefferson type catches and beyond. He doesn't get a lot of ink because he's got no one throwing him the ball, and he doesn't get a lot of ink because he's playing in the Saints, and they've had these weird games against the Titans and stuff, right? Like one after another. But this guy is emerging as one of the top receivers in the game, and against this Detroit secondary, man, I could see him having a very, very big day. If he does, it's going to open it up for Kamara. This Detroit defense gives it up in bunches, man. Did you see they had that giant lead on the Chargers, and the Chargers came like all the way back? They didn't even have to do anything. You know, they came like all the way back on. They didn't win, you know, because it's the Chargers. But it's like they did come back on them. I just don't like this Lions team. I'm less than convinced. I think the Lions' best chance this season is to run the football. They have two great running backs, and it's like, yeah, I would just ride these guys till the wheels fell off, because that is the only chance they have. Because at least running the football, you're going to be able to control the game. You run the football because their defense, while the pass rush is good, I don't know about anything about the actual pass defense and anything else. So it's like, I think the Lions defense is suspect.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah, no, I get a little emotional. I got to go off sometimes.
That's all good. This is what we do. This is what we do. It's kind of
Next game up, man. We got the Atlanta Falcons on the road facing the New York Jets. Jovan, you going sharp and taking Tim Boyle?
This line really hasn't moved all that much, from its opening. But with that said, I think that the Jets actually win this game outright.
Okay.
Tim Boyle, yeah, he's a bad quarterback, but they've had bad quarterback play all year long, and Boyle he's thrown picks, let's just say that, but he's thrown the ball down the field more than Zach Wilson, ever has. So, I think this is going to be a defensive-laden game, and a game that's won by the Jets on the defensive side of the ball. Desmond Ridder, he's still Desmond Ridder, and if he throws the ball up, a Jets defender is going to come up with it. It might take it to the house. So, look for the Jets to get this done, on the money line, and the Jets. They drop 4 straight, but they'll end their losing streak in this one.
Home dog with the Jets, Tim Boyle for Jovan. Eric, you rocking Tim Boyle or you going with the Falcons?
So, again, I do everything based on that early number. The early number, I'm going with the under. The early number was 35. The early sharps cracked it down to 33. It'll be an anemic matchup. Back to what Mitch said on the game prior that you didn't ask me about betting the number. I would have to take the dog at home and be with him on the Saints because the line, you're auto betting over a key number of 3 or over a key number of 7. So like Mitch said, you're just I understand what you're saying about the public winning 50% of the time, but when you don't have any information and you just adhere to certain strategies like I'm going to get an extra over a field goal, and you just take it.
No, I get it.
I know it's hard when you're analyzing each game individually to be in that auto betting mind frame, but the real sharps, not the steam chasers, that's what they do. So I would be on the under in this game, and on same thing with him, the Saints on the other game.
I get it. Hot Rod.
And for me on this one, I'm definitely not taking the Jets. I'll take Atlanta in this one. I'll take Atlanta money line. I think they hand the ball to Bijan Robinson, and he has a big day. You look at his rushing total; it's up to 83 yards. I think he has a 100+ rushing yards game here against these Jets, and he scores a touchdown. So I think Bijan Robinson over his rushing total, anytime touchdown, and Atlanta wins this game.
I'm taking the Falcons in this one. I'm not even going to overcomplicate it. I'm taking Tim Boyle. I think he's straight ass. I don't think he deserves to be a quarterback. If I said on the jam session, if Zach Wilson was starting, then I completely understand you being on the Jets. But Tim Boyle being the starter, can't do it, won't do it. I watched all that game last week against the Dolphins, and first half was okay. Second half, boy, that was probably the biggest second half bet me and Mitch ever made. Boy, we just kept loading up. I'm fading their ass.
I think I have 4,300 and something on the Dolphins second half in that game against the Jets.
Yeah, man.
It was like any account that would take my action, man. I was just dumping.
Will you take my money? You will take my money. Here it is. Yeah.
I was doing it online, man. I was doing it on the show. I did it on the show, man. I was like going around to different things. Like,
I think the Falcons are going to come in here.
We'll take 13.
You will? Yeah, put it all in.
and pull out a dub. That's how I see this happening. If you're scared, take the money line. I don't think we need to. I don't want to pay the books the juice because I got a good feeling that the Falcons just going to take care of business.
I've never seen the Falcons win by 1 too many times.
Yeah, you're right, Rod. You're right. You 100% right.
I've seen a win is a win is a win, as you would say. I've seen the Falcons win by 1 point too many times.
I can't get the juice from you.
Too many times.
The thing here is I just look at that. The game that is evident most for me from the Jets was that loss to the. I mean, I know they beat the Giants, but no. That Giant game is still at the forefront of my mind. The Giants had -9 passing yards that game and should have won that football game. And since then, the Jets have looked even worse. They've lost 4 straight. I think they make it 5. Mitch, what you think?
I can't bet on Tim Boyle. I don't love this game. I don't love the way the Falcons have looked. I don't like the idea of Desmond Ridder on the road. I really don't like any of that stuff. But what I really don't like is Tim Boyle. Any guy that had to transfer out of UConn because he wasn't good enough to cut the mustard and had to go to Eastern Kentucky, it kind of tells you everything you need to know there about this guy's credentials. How he's an NFL quarterback is beyond me. It's like this guy, it's like they're hoping for Kurt Warner, but what they got is, I don't know, Rusty Hilger or something. It's like they are really in bad shape. I think Kirby Smart might be interviewing for that Jets job after that loss to Bama, is my guess. Is that now that the streak is over at Georgia, I think Kirby Smart is going to be open to taking an NFL job. And I think there are a few college coaches out there that are probably open to taking NFL jobs. And I think he's one of those guys who just might do it, because I think he's the type of guy that if it doesn't work out, he could go back to college, no problem. I mean, he can go wherever the hell he wants. And I would guess Kirby Smart is a guy that they're probably interviewing. I'm going to guess Dabo Swinney is a guy that they're interviewing. I'm going to guess that they're looking all over at all of these type of guys. And, they're going to go back to the drawing board, quarterback, even if Aaron Rodgers comes back. It's like, I don't know. I don't even understand what they're doing. I like this Breece Hall. Dalvin Cook, they picked him up. He doesn't play. They just pay him. He's got the Zion Williamson type gig. It's like he doesn't have to play much. Zion's actually playing this year. We got to give him credit. He's played almost 25% of a season, which is that's big for him.
Half the Pelicans.
Yep. Not loving the Jets though these days. I'm just not. I wish the Falcons on the road is certainly not where you want to be. You got a dome team playing in cold weather outside. It's not a good spot, but
yep.
Tim Boyle is just, he's the X factor here. He sucks.
Brian B. I'm taking you some
Tim Boyle's so bad I can't even get behind Mr. Boyle.
I low-key thought you might have, Brian. I low-key thought
we had you circled for. We already had.
But the New York Jets, I think, have the worst pass rush defense in the league, and the Falcons, that's their specialty. But I'm not going to get screwed over by the Falcons. I'll lay that minus 135 and take on the money line.
All right, you and Rod convinced me. I might just My worst beat last year was a Falcon game. That DJ Moore bombed in the end zone. So I get it, man. I get it.
Falcon games are rough.
Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. Moving right along, man. Speaking of those diggity Dolphins, they're laying 8.5 on the road in Washington. Mitch, you think the Sharps all over the Commanders again this week?
They are, man. The Sharp Chasers is even better.
Every guy in the world, man. Every guy in the world.
And the same guys that loved them on Thanksgiving are on them today. I don't see it. The Dolphins coming off, a pretty subpar performance last time. Well, not against the Jets. I actually played pretty well, but I think the Dolphins are getting healthy, and that's just a bad sign for everybody else. The Commanders are just bad. Both these teams are on extended rest. The Dolphins played on Friday. The Commanders played on Thursday. That fourth quarter against the Cowboys, that's going to leave a mark. It's just one of those things that you have another team that can run downhill on you. And when you start seeing a team running downhill on you, it's almost like, oh man, here we go again. Where's this going to end? And then you look at the final score and they're probably in the locker room like, oh, 55-6. That wasn't that bad. They put 70 on Denver, so it's like they could probably,
They did. Now, let me, that was week 2. Does it take anything away from the 70-point win?
Yes, it absolutely
does.
It
doesn't. No, it doesn't. No.
It does. At this point of the season, it absolutely does. It's a different Bronco team. They would not beat them 7, but they would not put 70 on it. Only maybe like 65, 66.
It happened.
Oh, it happened. It definitely happened, but it's not. They're not the same Broncos. And the Dolphins, I believe, are a better team than the one that beat that Broncos.
But isn't there a flip side of the coin that I could say, well, I think the Dolphins are a better team than they were then as well?
I think they are in the secondary, but I'm not so sure they are without Phillips in the pass rush.
If y'all don't get we in there, we're basically, playing the Texas scenario.
Yeah, but that's That's the committee, man. So the committee, you're going to see like a shameless arrogance coming. It's coming your way.
It's coming
It's
your
In
way.
shameless-
about 45 minutes.
Shameless arrogance, because your guys on the committee are Kansas State. They hate your guts. Okay, so you're not getting the break, man. They ain't gonna go back there. NC State, Florida State, there are guys. We're ACC guys. We're in.
We're gonna see. Brian B.
Kentucky, man. They get the basketball. Alabama, Georgia, they get the football. That's how they do it.
I hope you're wrong. You're making a lot of sense. I know you. I know you are. But I hope
It's
you're wrong.
terrible. You're gonna see this arrogant. I mean, a guy. Oh, you're gonna say, what does this guy know about anything? It's some guy with like steely white skin, like gray hair, and they're gonna be like, who in the hell is this guy to even make this decision? That's what we're gonna be saying. This is how it works.
For sure.
Even
Brian B.
even like the subcommittee members, like the guys who are like not like the big members on the committee, they're all ACC guys too. So it's like Jim Grobe is on the committee. He was the head coach at Wake Forest, right? It's like these are the guys. This is what you're up against. You really got nothing.
I know. We'll see. 45 minutes, man. 45 minutes. Brian.
As far as this game goes, I'll lean to the Miami Dolphins minus the points. They're good at beating up the crap teams in the league, and Washington has the worst, or maybe the second or third worst pass defense in the league. I just think they go up and down the field. I'll do a small play on the Dolphins.
That's fair. I like it. I don't love this game. I'll go right here. I don't love this game either. I lean towards the Dolphins. Y'all know. The Dolphins beat up on bad teams, have lost to the good teams. The Commanders are a bad team. It's no overcomplicating it for me. I think they run them out. Rod, what you think?
Yeah, and I agree. Just as Brian said, take note that the Washington Commanders' pass defense isn't very good. So it's going to be one of those days that Tyreek Hill's going to run around all over the field. Take him to score 2+ touchdowns, plus 480 on that. I think he easily scores.
Tyreek 2 touchdowns, 480?
Yes.
I kind of like that. I do.
I think he scores 2 touchdowns today against these Commanders. And, of course, I'm going to call me a homer. I'm going to lay it with the Dolphins. Plus, Tyreek Hill gets 2 touchdowns.
I kind of like that prop, Rod. I ain't going to lie to you. Eric?
Well, I'm going to turn the camera. I don't know if you guys can see out the window. See how gray and nasty it is? It is really, really nasty out. So you're talking about like fog, London fog city here, nasty weather. You got to be on the dog. You got to take that dirty dog. I know you don't like it, Jay. You got to do it. You know. Now,
now this game, a 9 is a lot to lay with the Dolphins on the road. You know,
like Mitch said, you know, one of the things that the wise guys are getting smacked on this team. They're on them in full force. The reason why that line went down, it opened to 10. The reason why it's 8.5 in some spots is all because of smart money, because the sharps are just auto betting the home team dog over that key number of 7.
I do.
Because, you know, I mean, look, they can win by 7.
They can. They very well could.
I tell you what I do like is a complimentary selection in this matchup. I like the skins in the first half, because what I notice is that these nasty teams, what they'll do is the good teams like Miami will just hang around in the first half, let it be whatever, and then they'll just maybe explode in the second half. So you always get a lot of value from a first half point of view in these situations. And what you can do is you basically take the team and you divide it by 2. So you say, okay, the line's 8.5. And then in the first half, I can get the skins plus 6.5, which is really 13. You're actually getting more value on the skins plus 6.5 in the first half than actually 8.5 for the game. So my comp is the skins plus 6.5 in the first half.
There you go. Jovan, I see you nodding your head over there to Eric. You going sharp, taking the Commanders at home?
Yeah, I like this game. You know, once the opening line, you know, came out, not to look at it.
And again, I understand it. I do understand it. It is just I can't bet the Commanders. I can't.
Yeah, you know, hey, listen. There's no team that's on my do not touch list in the NFL. You know,
fair.
You know, because for me, I take it week to week. You know, I don't care how bad you are. You know, this is the NFL, so anything can happen. Yeah. You know, with that said, you know, the Commanders, even if they're down, you know, big, and, you know, Eric alluded to it, the weather out there in DC is gonna be nasty. You know what I'm saying? And they play on the grass field, so it's gonna be sloppy.
Remember,
And
it's in Maryland. The game's in Landover, Maryland.
Landover, Maryland, same area, DMV area. Am I correct?
I'm right here.
Yeah. So with that said, a fast track team like the Dolphins, they're not gonna be as crisp as they usually are, playing. And with the Washington Commanders' capability running the ball and passing the ball, because don't forget Sam Howell can't sling the ball. So even if they're down 13, 14 points, the back door is wide open, as far as I'm concerned. So I want the Commanders, to actually win for other reasons. But as far as the spread, I'm all over the home dog in this one. Too many points.
Fair enough. I understand it here. I do. This is I wouldn't be. This is one where I can literally see it going either way. Like I could see the Dolphins running these boys off the field, but there's an avenue where the Commanders do come in here and compete.
I mean, Jay, they are 5-6 ATS. It's not like they're
They
losing bettors
are.
a ton of money. You know what I mean?
They are. You're right.
And this is no Dallas Cowboys defense. It's just that's just the fact of the matter.
Y'all making some valid points. Let's keep it rolling. That's a good NFL card today. I'm enjoying the discussion with all my guys. Hey, I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching. It's about 1,000 of you right now. Do us a favor. Smash that like button. And let's continue to try to kick the crap out of the books. Remember, our best bets are at Pick Dogs Premium. And we'll run through that here in a little bit. But let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we got a division battle. We got the worst team in the league out on the road facing the Bucks. Panthers. Hey, I'll admit, I done took my bumps and bruises with this team. This is my Commanders. This is my Patriots. This damn Panthers team gonna be the death of me, man. I'm fading their ass today. I'm taking the Bucks. Taking Baker. The thing is, I know the Bucks are 4-7, but they're 7-4 against the number. They've been a fairly solid money-making team, and I think this is a spot where they beat up on a team they're fairly comfortable with, their divisional opponent, and they're just head and shoulders better than. They're not out of it. The NFC South is going to come down to the very last game of the season, and I think they understand that. They know they can still get in, and I think they just beat up on the Panthers here. I'm gonna take the Bucks. Mitch.
I'm on the Panthers. I like them on the money line in this one.
What?
I think the Bucks are just a bunch of stiffs, man. And I
You've
think
been-
that this
yeah, you've
is
been
sucker
all year.
bet. I've been against the Panthers every single game. This is the first time I'm taking them all season long. I'm taking the money line. They're going to get win number 2.
What? No, that was not on my.
Bucks are
menu.
terrible, man. They're
You do
terrible.
love fading you some Baker, but I was curious which way you were gonna go, and he went with the Panthers. Surprise!
I went.
I'm surprised. Brian B, what you doing here?
Oh, this is a nice game for us to talk about, but I think I'm going to take. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to score a touchdown in this game. I think we're going to see a big field. If there's a prop to no touchdowns scored in the game, I might sprinkle a little bit on it, but I like the under 36.5.
Wow, no touchdown from Tampa. That's probably got to be some pretty nice plus money if you can find that prop. All right, what you think?
Ugh. For me, this one, it's a fade of Baker Mayfield. I'm only 4 with the Bucks. No thanks. I'll take the Panthers plus the points. I like Chuba Hubbard to get an anytime touchdown too. I think
So y'all are not worried about one of the best ATS teams in the NFL going up against one of the worst. That doesn't.
I think
that's
it's down to 3
Baker
now.
Mayfield.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fair enough. Eric.
You know, what can I say about this game other than what Mitch said? Carolina on the money line. Sharp as S all the way to roll. You got a team that's 1-8-2 ATS. Nobody's betting them. Jay, the harder it is to make the bet, the more likely you are to win.
You're right, and you know, and that's why I understand why
Didn't
Brian
Mitch teach
does
you that?
says what he says. So I
Didn't
just think how
Mitch
he
teach you
says it. He says it. I understand what he's trying to say.
When you want
I
to
think he
vomit,
says
when you
it.
want to vomit at the possibility of the wager, you probably got a winner.
You're right, and you're right. You know,
So, Jay, I'm going to give you a parlay: Carolina and Commanders on the money.
You're right. Ugh. Ew. Make my skin crawl.
There's no reason, like Mitch said, to take the Bucks in this spot. There's just zero reason.
They're the better team. At home, still season alive.
So ask yourself this question. This is what a line maker taught me 25, 30 years ago. Let the line lead you the way. Tampa's 7-4 ATS. The other team's 1-8 ATS. Why is the line only 3.5? Why is it not 7? Why is it not 8?
It's a division game, and the Bucks are 4-7. They only got 3 more wins.
Okay.
I
Carolina money line
every day, and this one, I think the line's right where it should be, and I think the Bucks get it in. I do. We'll see. Devon,
here's the good news: one of us is going to be right.
You're right, and I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong. We'll see. We'll know here in a couple hours.
If you want to bet me a hat, Jay, reach out to me on the side.
Let's do it. We can do it right here on live. I'll
All
take
right.
a Tampa Bay hat. I'll take a Bucks
All right,
hat.
you're on. I'll take the 3. That's it.
Let's do it. Hat bet. Me and Brian B. right here on the show. Let's do it. Javon, what you like?
Yeah, the value is going as far as taking the spread with Carolina. So if you're gonna play, you gotta play at money line. That's just the bottom line in this one. But with that said, I'm on the under in this one. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of points scored. The Carolina Panthers do get a bump with their head coach going. So yeah. I think the under's the play.
I'm on the Baker Mayfield Island today. Damn.
That freaking coach.
We'll see, man. I genuinely did not expect this. I did not expect everybody to be on the Panthers today. You guys, I mean, not everybody, but you guys. All right, we go from one of the bad games to one of the best games. I know we're all locked in on this game. This game got huge implications on the rest of the season. That's how much this game matters. The line in this game is interesting. It's very, very interesting. I'm trying to get my graphics up. We got the Niners on the road facing them Philadelphia boys, man. I cannot wait to watch this game today. It's going to be one of them, one of the best ones thus far this season. Jovan, I'll start the back end with you, my man. You get the honors of leading us off on this one. What you think?
Man, I think this is going to be one hell of a game. That's what I think. But, looking at this total, the way it sits at, 46.5 right now? It was bumped up from 45.5. But I think this one, I think we're going to see a defensive slugfest. Even though, Philly, they have looked kind of shaky on the defensive end of things. I think there's going to be weather in this one also. So I think that might be conducive to the under. Looking at Jalen Hurts, he's not going to be able to, run the ball, move around like he does, or have that escapability like he has with other opponents. On the other side, San Fran, they're coming to this thing strong on defense. I think it's just going to be one of those 21-17 type of games, at the end of the day. So that's where I'm at with it. Under.
There you go. We'll get Eric's opinion when he comes back. Mr. Zawacki, what you thinking here?
Yeah, I kind of lean to the under as well. I think this is definitely going to be one of those hard-hitting battles. NFC. This is going to be huge. This could be a push. This could be the 7th push of the season that I've got. So, for me in this one, I'm going to go with the 49ers. I think they come out a little bit hot and they win the first half. They won, 6 straight first halves following win. I like the 49ers to have the lead at halftime.
Here's what makes me nervous in this football game. Let me talk to you guys. The Philadelphia Eagles are currently the best team in the NFL record-wise. they're also the best ATS team in the NFL right now. And they're a 3-point home dog. Whew. 7-2-2 are the Philadelphia Eagles against the number. They have covered in 77.8% of their games. The thing is guys, I've said that the Niners are better than them all season. This game's tough. Eric, talk to me. What you think?
So my free play was on my YouTube video today was Philadelphia for it's almost like you just repeated what I said on the YouTube video. But back to letting the line lead you the way. There's a reason why they're a 3-point underdog.
Fair.
So you got to look at it the other side of it. There's a reason why they're a 3-point underdog. Now, again, I'm in that quarter and belt and loop, which is this horrible weather here in Baltimore. You got to remember Philly, Skins, Baltimore, it's all within an hour and a half of each other. So the weather's the same. Also today, if you look at today's card, not even talking about that game, look how many West Coast teams are traveling to the East Coast. It's like literally they all left LAX and they all flew over to the East Coast today. So you got Chargers at Patriots, you got San Fran. You got to take Philly from an edge point of view, but I'm not going to be surprised if I lose the Philly free play. Let's put it that way. I'll take Philly, but I'm not going to be surprised if San Fran rips them apart. There's a reason why they're laying 3.
And I'm on the Niners here in this one as well. I'm gonna shoot it 1,000% straight with all of y'all. Mainly, it's because I want next week's game with Dallas to be for the division. Let's call it a spade. Let's call it a spade a spade.
We expected nothing less.
I need that to happen. B, this is the toughest schedule I've ever seen anybody ever play. The schedule that Philadelphia Eagles are going through right now. Like, when you just look at it, man, they've played all the best teams in the NFL, and they've come out pretty clean scathed. But they got the Niners this week, got them boys next week. Can they continue to get up for every single game? Or is this the one or the next two where it finally catches up to them?
My son Junior has the Bird Bowl in his mind. Ravens against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. So we'll see.
We shall see. I'm on the Niners in this one, though. Am I overly in love with it? No. But I'm going to be cheering my ass off of the Niners today. Mitch?
I think this one's about as easy as it gets. Niners on the Eagles on the money line. The Eagles have gotten every single call at home this season. It is not going to change here. The Niners they have very, very limited weapons on offense. They have McCaffrey, they have Debo, they have Ayuk, maybe, and Kittle, maybe-ish, right? Against the Philly defense that's absolutely stacked. Every public, square, sharp chaser in the world is on the Niners in this game. Every single one of them. I mean, you could go out on YouTube, Twitter, whatever. Everybody in their mother is on the Niners here.
I believe
it is a bad, bad spot. You have Brock Purdy, a quarterback who is a game manager against a guy who wins games. And the Eagles, they're going back to the Super Bowl. It's either the Eagles or the Cowboys. The Niners, they don't have enough options, man. It's like I don't think they stack up to those two other teams. They beat the Cowboys. They beat them. It was in San Francisco. They play in Dallas. They play in Dallas. It goes the other way, man. It's like I just don't see it, man. I don't see the path for the Niners to get there. I understand they have the pass rush, and Jalen Hurts is one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. He holds on to it too long, right? So all those runs that he doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage, they all count as sacks, right, on his numbers. So he's one of the most sacked quarterbacks out there. But Brock Purdy, when he's under pressure, man, he is horrible. And he will be Mac Jones back there. And he will look like Mr. Irrelevant in the draft in this very, very bad spot for him. I think the fact that every public sharp chaser in the fucking world is on the Niners here just makes me want to lay Eagles alternate line -6.5, or maybe even more. It's that one-sided. There's that much of the public money on the Niners here. It's like that big. It's like one of the biggest public bets of the entire season is the Niners. You're muted.
I'm muted. I hate that I'm on the Niners here. I hate it.
But it's the most public bet of the entire season. The entire season is
Fade-
this Niners
to
bet.
me, fading the number one team and also best ATS team at home just seems
I understand. But the Niners are the most public bet in
I've
the
said,
entire
and you
in that
see-
same point, I've
and
called
Jay-
the Niners the better team all season. I've said that.
And Jay, what you see in the key back to what Mitch was saying about betting a number, not a team. Carolina went from the Carolina game went from 3 to 3.5. This game has not moved to 3.5. So they're holding that number there because they know that if they move that line to 3.5, then they're going to get all these guys buying back the other side.
bang back the other side. They're going to get creamed.
They're going to get creamed. So they're just
They're
going to
gonna
hold
get
it at 3.
creamed.
They'll hold it at 3. You'll never see 3.5.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's gonna be one of those ones. I can't wait. Mitch, we might got to come on halftime for this one.
Oh yeah, we could do a halftime for it.
We might got to, man. Brian, what you thinking here?
Well, I think the spread tells you what to do as far as from a spread point of view, but as far as the total goes, I'm going to go to the under 47.5. I think you've seen 5 straight games between the Niners and Eagles go under the total. Niners revenge spot here. It should be a gritty game. Bad weather in Philly. I still think it goes over the number, even with
2.5 now at DraftKings. So it's going the other way. It's the wise guys.
They will 100%.
that are pushing it the other way. It's our friends. That's who it is.
100%.
It's the guys that we know. Just hitting the crap out of the Eagles. They just lined them up like bowling pins, man, and they're just fucking gonna mow them down.
It's gonna be
Like
one of
they've
those
been doing
ones.
all season. Like they've been doing for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basketball, college football, everything.
2 more games in the NFL. 2 more. We got the Browns and the Rams. It's an interesting game here. The Browns were my play of the week last week. And boy, man, did the Broncos bust them up. It's one of my, I think it was like my only loss of last week in the NFL. Thing is, I'm back on them again this week. I am. I think they're the best defense in the NFL. I do. And I think they're going to force Matthew Stafford to have a long day in the office. I think the Rams have become overvalued. It's pretty much what I think here. I think the Rams have become overvalued, and I think the Browns have become undervalued because of their quarterback situation. DTR probably gone. We know Deshaun Watson's been gone. It's going to be Joe Flacco. Ew. But I don't think he wrecks the car. It's a
What
guy
do you
that
mean, man? He won me a Super Bowl here.
I'm just going to say it's a guy that has a Super Bowl. It's a guy I don't think
Long time ago.
I don't think he's gonna wreck the car, man. All he gotta do is turn around, hand that ball off to Ford. Let
Joe
the defense
Namath won a
play.
Super Bowl in New York. It don't mean he's gonna win one today.
I'm taking the Browns, man. I'm taking the Browns. Mitch.
Here's the problem I have with Joe Flacco. Not besides the last time we saw him with the Jets, is this. So the most dangerous thing for a pocket passer is a dead bull rush up the middle, right? Vince Wilfork for the Patriots did it for years. Brady got all the credit, but Vince Wilfork's also going to the same Hall of Fame that Brady's going to. Gets the push up the middle, pushes that immobile quarterback out of the pocket. Like a guy like Russell Wilson or a guy like Lamar or something, you push them out of the pockets where they want to be. Those guys you try and contain in the pocket, right? But a guy like Joe Flacco, you get that center push. You try and push him out of the pocket. You have the greatest pocket pusher probably in the last 50 years, right in the middle. I mean, I talked about Vince Wilfork, but I think that Aaron Donald is actually better than him, which is pretty unbelievable. Vince Wilfork is probably 1A. Aaron Donald is probably number 1. And I think he gets that push here against the Browns. I think that's the difference maker. I think the defense for the Browns is way better, but I think if you don't score points, you're going to really struggle.
Brian B.
Yeah, I'll take a small lean to the Cleveland Browns here. Joe Flacco, veteran quarterback, best defense in football. Something I like the Browns here. I'm gonna lean towards Cleveland here with the defense.
Hot Rod.
I like the over in this game. You know, as I said last week, look at the Browns. How many points have they been giving up defensively on the road? They gave up 29 to Denver. They gave up 33 or 31 to Baltimore. They gave up 24 to Seattle. They gave up 39 to the Colts, and they gave up 26 to the Steelers, all on the road. I like the over 40.5. I think what we've seen from the Rams offensive output last week, I think they continue that here. And I think the Browns can score some as well, enough to get us up over the 40.5.
All right. I know we're talking NFL, but hey, the AP just dropped their list. I know this is not the college football playoff, but the AP just dropped it. You want to know?
Don't care.
1,
Don't care.
Michigan. 2, Washington.
Georgia.
3,
Florida State.
hook 'em. Hook 'em. 4, Florida State. No Bama, no fucking Georgia.
You're screwed. You're absolutely screwed.
That's
Don't
the
even worry
AP,
about
though.
it.
We find out in about 15.
AP is the writers.
It's the writers, yeah.
That's the writers.
I know.
The writers aren't the ones that are the rich
I know.
guys making the
They're
moves.
the same ones that think Roger Clemens shouldn't be in
I
the Hall of
understand.
Fame.
I
The same
understand.
people, man.
But it's a step in the right direction.
Like-
It's a step
It's
in
like,
the right
yeah,
direction.
Roger Clemens and A-Rod shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame according
I'm
to
trying
those
to
guys.
get
Or
any
Pete
little,
Rose. It's
you know,
like 'cause
motivation that I can.
He has
Pete
hope.
Rose is a
Pete Rose bet a
steroid
couple
abuser.
dimes
Jay
on
has
the
hope.
Yankees.
That's all
you
that
know,
matters.
It's like,
He
oh
has
my
hope.
God.
He has hope.
Yeah,
Yes, I
hope
have
will crush
and
your
I'm not
dreams.
going to let Mitch take it away.
Hope will crush your dreams. It'll suck the life out of you. Hope is a very bad thing.
All right, back to this, man. Browns and Rams. Costi? Or
I'm
Eric?
taking the Rams at home. I think that anybody coming off the street in the NFL cannot execute because the timing in the NFL is so fast. You saw it with Deshaun Watson when he came back after a year layoff. I can't imagine Flacco has a big playbook here. Yes, the defense is amazing, but they're capable of giving up points. The Rams could spread them out, and Kerryon Williams has been playing actually really well the last couple of weeks, which will, I think, if they start with the run, and I know last week Cooper Kupp was banged up, so he was very limited, but I think spreading the Browns out is the way to beat them. I just like the Rams at home. I think the weather and the turf is going to benefit the Rams, since I think Cleveland definitely plays better in the cold and when it's rainy and when it's muddy, because then the pass rush can get there. But I think I like the Rams in this spot.
Jovan.
I like the under in this spot. You know, the Browns, they've been getting scored on lately, but I think in this one it's a bounce back situation with Matt Stafford under center. You know, he's a mistake waiting to happen, and you get a pass rush on him, he's folding. You know, always throwing a pick the other way. So, you know, I think that that the Browns defense has a resurgence in this one. And, you know, you got Joe Flacco on the other side, so I don't think he's going to be able to, you know, do anything through the air. This is just going to be him handing the ball off to whoever, whether it's Kareem Hunt or Ford or whoever. So I think this one's going to stay under.
There you go. There you go. One last game, Sunday nighter. I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. Doom, do-do-do-do. Am I the only one that sings it when it comes on? I sing it like full blown, like
I don't listen to the sound on the games.
I actually like doing that.
Oh, that's the big Chiefs game. Huh?
We got the Chiefs, man, laying 6 on the Packers in Lambeau. Jovan, I'll start in the back end with you. What you thinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna go against some of my core beliefs that I have in the NFL. I'm gonna roll with KC in this one. You know, there's a lot of love for Green Bay. They've been playing well. You know, and Jordan Love has been playing well lately. But you know, going up against Patrick Mahomes, it's under 7 points, and I think that KC wins by 7 points one way or another. So, you know, give me KC just on the strength.
Costi.
It's a tough one. I do think the Packers are playing well. Chiefs run a lot of man coverage. Jordan Love actually excels through man coverage this year. He has been playing a lot better. I don't like this game one bit. I think it's going to go over. I think the Chiefs have been giving up points. I think it's going to be a tougher place to play for them. So I don't like them laying 6 on the road. So I'm going to take the over here, 42.5. I don't like this at all, but the only play I like the over.
Hot Rod. You're muted.
The opening number.
Yeah.
Open at 7.
I like the over as well. I think both sides get some points. Chiefs definitely going to put some points up. So Green Bay's been playing a little better offensively, and I think they can put up points. I think we easily get into about 45, actually, is where I got this number at. So take the over.
Brian.
Yeah, I'll lean here towards the Packers plus the points, getting the home dog Sunday Night Football. I mean, Packers starting to play better the last 2 weeks. Jordan Love numbers aren't horrible. I'm going to lean towards the Packers here.
Mitch.
I'm with Brian. I'm going to take the Packers. 23 degrees, 15-mile-an-hour winds with snow. Chiefs have had a lot of trouble holding onto the ball in general this season. When Patrick Mahomes throws it right in their hands, maybe it's like car driving. Maybe it's harder to catch. Maybe there's more accidents on a sunny day than there are in the rain because people are more cautious. I don't know, but the Chiefs look like a car wreck this season. I think that while Patrick Mahomes, you're going to win a lot of games and all that stuff, and I don't think they're going anywhere this season. I think this is just a spot where they lay down. And the Packers at home at night. The Chiefs have been the king of the under this year, believe it or not. In at least the last 7 or 8 games, they've been the kings of the under. So getting that 6 points with the home team it's magnified, when the totals are lower, 6 points goes a lot further. I think it goes a lot further here for us. I'll take the Pack to at least cover if they don't win outright.
24-20, Chiefs win, Pack covers. I got this one shaking out. Jordan Love and company, they're going to give a good fight. They're just going to fall short in the end. Chiefs win it, fail to cover. I got the Chiefs winning out and having the best record in the AFC. And when they do that,
can't catch, man. Can't catch.
The thing is look at their schedule. It's kind of cupcake. And
but they're the cupcake.
They're not, though. They're the team that the AFC has run through. Just think about it. The AFC Championship game is always in Arrowhead, and until somebody wakes up and shows me that they're going to be able to do it, I'm not going to.
This is the worst of all those teams. This is the worst team they've had.
100% agreement with you. But the way it's shaking out, they're going to get the number 1 seed. I got Baltimore losing a game. I got the Dolphins losing a game. I got the Jags even losing a game. I think the Chiefs win out and get the
Dolphins. The Dolphins win out. They have the Cowboys at home. They've got easy schedule.
No, they don't. The Dolphins are going to lose at least one more game. When I look at the Chiefs coming up schedule, let me run it down because I was looking at this the other day. Packers, dub. At home next week against the Bills, dub.
They have not done well against the Bills in recent years.
They always beat the Raiders. Jake Browning and the Bengals, dub, and they always beat the Chargers. I think they're winning out. They're going 13-3. Going to be probably the worst 13-3 team we've ever seen.
What does winning have to do with covering?
But nobody can beat them in Arrowhead in the postseason. It hasn't been done other than a man named Joe Burr. And I don't think that Lamar.
But it wasn't him. It was the defense. They got the interception on.
Or Trevor Lawrence can go in there and slay the dragon. Until I see them go in there and slay it, I'm not taking them to do it. I think the Chiefs still run the AFC.
So you like the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl is what you're saying?
Right now, today, my Super Bowl is the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs. Lamar Jackson makes his first AFC Championship game.
You hear this, Costi?
And he pays the Patrick Price in the AFC Championship game. We've seen it time and time again. It's the Patrick Price. Lamar just doesn't have the playoff experience. He just doesn't. His only playoff game was an outright loss to the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry in the postseason.
Costi's coming at you hard.
That's the truth.
He said it's not true.
No, that is the truth. And
he beat the Titans on the road the next year, Costi said.
No! Did they?
Lamar?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
I was there.
We went to the game.
And then who they lose to?
And then they.
Then they beat the Tennessee Titans on the road. They came back home, and we lost to
Patriots, probably.
No, Patriots suck.
Was it the Saints?
I don't think. Does Lamar have a playoff win? He does.
He has a playoff win. He lost at home the first time when he came in halfway through the game, and we got blown out. And then we lost at home when we were 13-3. We lost to the Chargers the first time at home against Phillip Rivers. That was his first ever playoff game. Then the next year we were 13-3, divisional game, had the bye, lost to Derrick Henry. And then the couple years later.
The Titans went on that run in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then we went to Tennessee and we beat them. and then lost the next game to the Bills at Bills when Justin Tucker missed field goal and so did their kicker. It was a very low scoring game.
No.
Fair enough. I just think it runs through the Chiefs until further notice. I think they win here, but I don't think they cover in Lambeau. That's pretty much what I would say.
Lamar
That's
does
all
have
the
one
NFL. Is there
playoff
college
win.
hoops today?
Making sure one playoff win.
Yeah, one playoff win.
Now I know.
Remember, Jay, we're talking about winning outright. And we're talking about covering. It's still 6 points. So back to they can win today. Do they cover?
No, I took the Packers.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
Yep. No NBA today, man. Back with the in-season tournament tomorrow. We usually cook up NBA here on this show, but
We're going to sweeping the board today in the NBA. We're rolling. We're going to win the Ravens. We're going to win the Cowboys. And we're going to win all of our NBA games today.
I personally don't have any college hoops today, but I know I got some huge college hoops fanatics on this screen with me. Mitch, any leans in the college hoops land today?
I love the card today. It's not a big one, but I see a lot of easy money here. I think for me oh man, there's so many that I like, but I think Clemson straight up over Pitt money line is probably the easiest play on the board. Clemson owns Pitt. They actually have a parking spot there. They own a condo in their stadium. They own them. I mean, Pitt only plays to lose to Clemson 10 times in a row. They beat them. Make it number 11 today. I think I don't know why. It's just one of those things, man. You just kind of it's like when Arizona plays at Oregon. You just kind of just take Oregon. You just don't even look at anything else. You just take it, bet it, and put it away. Clemson just owns Pitt. So I'm gonna take that one.
Brian B, you got anything for me in college hoops today?
Off to a nice start in college basketball, but I took a pass on today's card. Maybe I should. And I agree with what Romanelli said. I think App State plus the points against they get a crack at an SEC team, Auburn.
They're gonna get crushed. They're gonna get crushed. Oh my
The
god.
cherry pick, I would take App State plus the points.
They're gonna get rolled, man. Auburn is like stacked. They're like an NBA team this year. They're loaded. Loaded.
Hi, Rob. What you got for me in college hoops?
Yeah, I agree. I like Auburn by a bunch, and that one, not trusting App State to keep that close.
They're
for
loaded,
Auburn.
man.
No thanks. You know that one I like Air Force here plus the 4.5. They got a shot outright in that one. And I agree. I think Clemson just pantses Pittsburgh. I think people are like, oh, let's take Pittsburgh. No, Clemson's good. Last time I seen Clemson, they pantsed me. I went against them. I figured Alabama would give them a fight.
That was
but
a
they
nasty
didn't.
visual.
I know. Sorry. But Alabama. Ooh, they didn't even hang. Clemson beat them outright in that one, and
Clemson whipped their ass.
So I like Clemson.
That was at Stedman.
Now in
too.
Alabama too. They
It
went
was
right into Alabama and got a win. And man, they look good doing
They
it.
slaughtered them.
Yeah, Clemson's good. I'm not touching Pitt.
Eric Pete.
So I live we got a lot of schools to bet on here in Maryland. So in today we have 2 games. It's an extra game. It's Navy against Coppin State. Navy's 45 minutes away. Coppin State's about 5 minutes from my office. I'm going to take Coppin State plus the 9.
I like that.
It's Navy.
Navy is ass. They shouldn't be laying 8.5 on nobody.
I could just roll over to either one and watch it. Yeah, Coppin State plus the 9. The line actually opened up at 10. Wise guys came in and already bet it down to 9.
I like that. I say
David Robinson went to
little
Navy,
bit on the money
man.
line.
They're good then. The Admiral.
Javon.
Fordham, kind of like Fordham getting points
Against my Green Wave?
against the Green Wave. Yeah,
My Green Wave let me down in football yesterday, so they might get double let me down.
Yeah, it might be some residual effects on that, but yeah, I like Fordham. Don't say getting points at home. I like Radford. They usually run roughshod over Elon, even though Elon does put up a boatload of points, or have this year at least.
Radford's not bad this year, man. They're pretty good.
No, they're definitely not bad, and they're one of my go-to teams, the past few years. So
I like them.
Radford. Other than that, Wichita State, getting a few more than a few points, 3 possessions. I would take them. And that's about it.
For me,
And maybe one more, maybe Minnesota. They've been known to play OSU tough, even though OSU is looking real strong this year. In the last couple games at least. That's a lot of points in a Big Ten matchup.
for Shody. Scrolling through, I kind of like #we coming. I kind of like Colorado against
Pepperdine.
Yeah,
Pepperdine?
Pepperdine has pretty much gotten their doors blown off in quite a few
They
games.
can really hammer those threes.
If they're on, they may cover. If they're off, they're gonna get ran out the building. We'll see. I kind of like Colorado in that one.
I think they're the most disappointing team so far.
Who?
One of them.
Colorado?
They got slaughtered. Like game against Florida State, they were getting beat so bad. They managed to get it to overtime, but against Florida State, anyone out there who in games, if you see Florida State go to overtime, just automatic bet on Florida State. They have the record and it's current. They have the most overtime wins in a row, and it's a current streak of all time. So it's like you see it go to overtime, man, it's automatic. It is like those guys, they just do not lose in overtime.
I'm gonna lean towards Nebraska. I think Creighton's still slightly overrated, man. They got their door. Colorado State. They did.
Yeah, I know, but Nebraska's not Colorado State.
I know.
They beat Oregon State. Congratulations.
And when you look at
Thanks
they
for
haven't
playing.
played nobody. They played Ryder, Stony Brook, Cal State Fulton. They played nobody. But I don't know. I think they compete here. I do.
Against a Big East team. Good luck on that one, man.
For sure. We'll see. I like Creighton. When they had my guy Doug McDermott, woo, I was all over.
Jay still has never seen. Listen to this one, Eric. Jay's never seen Hoosiers.
Wow.
What?
Come on, man.
I don't know.
You know who the three most profitable teams in college basketball are? High Point 6-0, BYU 7-0, and
I've been on the
Arizona.
Cougars every single game. I was on them again. They have been on them
Rolling.
They are stacked.
Right.
BYU and Cincinnati BYU, Cincinnati, and Houston are going to go into the Big 12 and raise some hell this season. All three of those teams are good.
There you go.
BYU is like the number one offense and number one defense in college basketball, and they played a tough schedule.
Right.
I've been betting on them every single game. I'm 7-0 on BYU games this season.
And they're
The only
7-0.
reason I'm not down like 10,000 units is because I've been betting BYU.
All righty. Mitch,
They just
what you
covered
feeling
the other
today?
night, right? They were like 16.5 the other night, right? They just covered. I had just Friday night, right? I covered on them on Friday night. They were laying like 16.5. They won easily.
The show finna start here in 1 minute. I'm finna turn it on. Mitch, what you selling today?
Selling good looks and smiles. And it's just I've got some packages out there, but these guys, man, pair me up or get these guys Dime Club, whatever. It's like we got tons of good cappers at Pick Dogs. You guys can see the leaderboards. Who's hot, who's not. I think a lot of times it's good to buy low on those leaderboards too. All our guys have a track record, so it's like sometimes you buy low. That's because it's like they're going to play to the back of their card. They're going to get to their number anyway. So it's like if you can get them when they're hit on like a 30-40% streak, well, they got to get to that 58% somehow. It's going to be by ripping off a lot of wins in a row. I put a few people on like Big Al's package when he was on bad runs. They're like, thank you so much. And I'm like those runs. And he goes, and Jovan too, same thing. Like, these guys that have done it year after year after year, you see them on just a little bump in the road, man, jump on. It'll pay for your whole year and then some in the first week.
All right. Brian B., what you got today?
Winning day yesterday, 3-2. 4 last 6 have been winning days. I got my titanium best bet in the NFL, just $25 over at pickdogs.com, or get all 3 of my best bets, $50, my Gone Streak and 3-pack.
Hot Rod.
Go for a third straight winning day. I have my NFL Sunday ticket. Only got I have 7 NFL plays, 5 you can get in a package, and then the Sunday nighter standalone bonus play for long term. So head on over. We've got a third straight winning day.
Catch the
Eric
bonus.
Talk to him about the Dime Club and everything else under your umbrella.
Well, you're up 9.7 units this week on your all access. So you got a big NBA card today. You guys can text me and get ready for tomorrow because you're going to get nothing from him today. Big Al's rolling. He's up 24 units this week. You can text me for that. Costi over there with Sharp Trading, he's rolling. You can text me for that. And the Dime Club is on a 13-2 run the last 15. You can text me for that, 775-636-7676. As always, nothing on the website. It's not for everybody. It's for the larger bettors looking to treat their wagering as a business.
There you go. Jovan.
Yeah, got a 5-pack going in the NFL slate. Also got a 3-pack going strictly for the 4 o'clock in primetime games. And I have a play of the month game that I think is going to hit. So I don't put those out too often. When I do, they hit. So
there you go. Hop on with Jovan, play of the month. Pair me up with any one of these guys here on the screen. Eric told you guys no NBA for me today, but I am locked and loaded in the NFL. I got quite a few plays, 6 or 7 in there for the long-term folk. I really like today's card. I got a mega pack, 5-pack. You guys can hop on that. And I got my play of the day in the NFL. Best thing to do, hop on something long-term. Let's make some money over an extended period of time. Hey, it's a money-making week with the NBA coming up. Can't wait for that. Any other words from any of you guys before we go ahead and get on up out of here? Jovan?
Say that one more time.
Any other words before we get out of here?
Oh, man, just win.
There you go. Eric?
Yeah, so I had about 5 clients text me watching this as part of the 1,000. We appreciate it. Asking me if these are writing down everybody's selections and asking if these are the games they should bet. So these are the early analysis. You got to purchase their plays premium online to get their top plays and their packs. And obviously for Dime Club and the Telegram channels, like Dr. S just sent me a text from New York. No, this is just the early stuff. We're just talking. We're having a good time. That's why we have the leaderboard at Pick Dogs, and that's why you have access directly to me.
There you go. Rod, anything else?
Also thinking take Clemson on the money line, take the Atlanta Falcons on the money line, take the Los Angeles Kings on the money line. Mixed sport.
Okay, that's what I meant to ask.
Oh, and Carolina, and the Commanders for Jay, his double dog parlay.
I'll come back to you in a minute, Jovan. Cook me up a parlay. Mitch, you got something for me?
Sure. I'll take Auburn minus the points. I would go extended on that. I would take the Philadelphia Eagles extended line to 6.5 as well. And then I would pair those up with Wichita State on the money line versus Dennis Gates's Missouri Tigers.
There you go. Brian B., any last words? And you got a parlay for me?
Yeah, I'd parlay up the Green Bay Packers plus the points, New Orleans Saints plus the points, and go blue.
There you go. Parlay for me, I'm going to rock with the let's not overcomplicate this parlay. I'm taking the Chargers. I'm just going to keep fading Mac Jones. I mean, not Mac Jones, but New England in its entirety. I'm going to take the Texans. I think it's time for the Broncos to cool off. And I'm going to take the Detroit Lions to go in there and beat up on the Saints. 3-teamer. Jovan, what you got for me? Mute it.
Cardinals, Saints, Commanders.
There you go. I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching. Our best bets are at the premium site. Let's make some money on a money-making Sunday. Hey, I'm on Twitter here in a few minutes talking my shit when this committee put in Texas. We'll see.
Well, yes.
We out of here. Peace.